All right, I got my Lasfit LEDs in the mail. It's in a bubble wrap container. Here's the license plate bulbs. They're actually a pretty cool design. No polarity. That's actually interesting because LEDs have polarity to them. These clearly have LEDs. They're not doing anything wrong there, but you can design a circuit that will actually make it so it sends power no matter which direction it's coming from through something, and then it'll send it out the right way as well. I think that's called a bridge rectifier. I'd have to look that up to confirm. And these, wow, this looks like some sci-fi video game stuff right here. These have no polarity as well, which is very useful. There's some cars where, for some reason, like see how these bulbs, they've got a base to them and then they've got a pin at the bottom. Most of the time, the base, the big metal part, is the negative and then the positive comes in through the bottom. But for some reason, on some cars, I think my brother's Volkswagen was like this, they just flip it for no reason. And you can flip the wires, but then you have to get into wire cutting. If this works with no polarity, that means you won't have to do any wire cutting or anything. It'll pop right in and it'll be done. The design is very interesting. It's got a heat sink to it, LEDs wrapped around it. I'll get a close-up on this because these look like they're part of a spaceship or something. This is the reverse bulb that I'll be replacing. I'm going to be replacing the license plate bulbs as well. I really need to replace these lift supports sometime soon too, because this thing does not stay open. But until then, I've got this tool that I can just lock on there and keep it open with. All right, to get to these lights, all I have to do is remove this lens assembly. There's two screws here. Sometimes there's bolts on some cars. Sometimes they're actually behind the light. And on this light, there's also a little ball plug joint kind of thing. All right, on here, you'll see one of these is actually broken. This right here. The other one is still functional, and you can see the pin right there. I'll fix this in a later video, but for now, we're just gonna work on the light bulbs. Whether you're upgrading or just replacing a bad bulb, always remember to check which bulb you're working on and make sure you always work with that bulb. Alright, I've turned some brightness settings down so when the lights come on it doesn't blast the camera with light and you don't really see anything. Alright, this is your standard incandescent bulb. It's not one of the extra bright ones or anything, it's just standard what comes with the car, what you normally get at the auto parts store, that kind of bulb. It's an off-white kind of orangey yellow. In Kelvin it's about 2,700. This is the first LED upgrade I did. It's a better color, it's brighter. One problem is that it doesn't have a whole lot of reflection to it. You'll see the area around isn't quite as bright as the center. It may be brighter, but that pinpoint of light is more visually piercing. This is the camera set on ISO 100 and brightness level 2000. You can really see it's piercing right in the middle and there's not a whole lot of light around the edge. Alright, let's turn these lights off and start putting in the new LEDs that we got. Alright, we're going to take out this top one. There's that incandescent bulb. Alright, and here's our part of a spaceship looking new LED. Super easy. The difficulty on your own car may vary, but usually taillights are pretty easy to get to. Now let's go to our old settings and see how it looks. Alright, we're back on ISO 100, brightness 400. Alright, to be honest, I wasn't sure if this was going to be better. I was thinking that I liked the design more, but maybe the LEDs weren't as bright and they didn't add up to quite the same. But this looks really good. Let me back up and show you both LEDs at the same time. You can definitely see the difference here. I'm going to lower the brightness so it's a little easier to see. As you lower the brightness, the one on the left, you can see it's just a little dot and the ring is not so bright, whereas the one on the right, the new LED we just got, it's bright in the center and on the ring all around. Let's lower the brightness a little bit more. Alright, yeah, you can see the one on the left is a little bit brighter, but it's just like a spotlight, and that's not going to be as good for seeing as the light disperses. Just because I'm infinitely curious, I'm going to switch out the one on the left for their newer design and see how that works out. I feel like it's going to have the opposite effect where the center isn't super bright, but the ring is really bright. So let's take a look. All right, we're still at the same setting that I left off with the last one, and I'm very surprised with this. The new Sylvania design is worse in every way. Like the ring looks about the same, but the center isn't as bright. I mean, visually looking at it, it's not too bad, but I'm actually really surprised and happy with those LEDs that I got shipped. I was thinking that they're going to be a trade-off sort of thing, but in every way, those new ones are better. So the competitor's old design, I'd still pick the Lasfit LEDs over the competitor, but the new design that the competitor's making, absolutely 100% I'd go with Lasfit. All right, this is how I rank the bulbs. This one's in last place, obviously. In fact, I'll just move this off to the side here because that's how low it ranks. This is the new competitor one. I'm surprised it went downhill from this design. This design I'd rank higher. I don't think you can get these anymore. As far as I can tell, they've stopped making these and replaced them with these. The Lasfit ones I've been sent, there's no trade-off with these between these other two. This one is definitely better. All right, so I'm going to pop this into the other reverse light and then we'll move on to the license plate bulb. If you see my GTO at a car show in New England, check out the reverse lights, confirm that it's still in there. These license plate bulbs are super easy as well. I'm using a plastic trim removal tool instead of a screwdriver because if I slip, screwdriver's going to scratch up some paint. This will not scratch up unless you really dig into it. Again, I've got a competitor brand LED in there, and I'm going to replace it with this Lasfit LED. I'm going to turn the brightness down and I'll show you the polarity change. That's the Lasfit LED. That's the competitor. You can very much see the difference. The Lasfit LED has 3 different LEDs built into it facing different directions. This competitor LED emits light straight out, whereas the Lasfit one emits it straight out and then to the top and bottom of the plug. So on top of it being able to be installed either way, you don't have to check for polarity. It's actually brighter too. All right, so I've got it set up where the Lasfit LEDs are on the left and the regular incandescent bulbs are on the right. This is what most videos are going to show you. LEDs are definitely better than conventional incandescent bulbs. And we'll turn the brightness down so you can see the difference. Even there, the LED prevails. It looks like I've got a light out on the license plate, but I do not. You can see here, you can see that faint glow. There's hardly anything there. So yeah, any video can show you that LEDs are better than incandescents, but I took a look at 2 different LEDs, one that's easy to get at an auto parts store and one that's easy to get on Amazon. But I also showed you that there are differences between the brands and you can actually get better LEDs than some other brands put out. So definitely go check them out. I'll have links to the product in the description. Using that link will help the channel out as well. All right, and full disclosure on this, we were not paid for this review, but we were sent these light bulbs for free. But we still want to have a good reputation with everyone, so I present all this in as clear and an honest fashion as I could. If you ever spot me at a car show or meet and you can get over to the car, take a peek at those reverse lights, see what LEDs I'm sporting at the time. I bet you it's going to be those. Clicking on that link instead of searching for them is going to help Cars Simplified out, so I appreciate it if you do. Either way, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.